Okay, so welcome to the August Zoom. Got a lot to show you tonight, so we'll make a start. So just wanted to share with you some of the offerings that doTERRA have put in your shop right now. I'll probably be asking a few of you who have already got some of these things what you think of it. But the free product of the month, so every month we know that there's a free product if you spend over 125 PV, and this month it's the red mandarin, not the green. And this is one of the sweetest of the citrus oils, so it can be used as you generally would use all the other citrus oils. It's nice for cleansing. It's great in drinks and smoothies. You know, some nice little like mocktails in summer and things like that. It's also got emotional benefits. Is if anyone's got the emotion book, red mandarin specifically for like family and children, bringing back your sort of childlike joy and things like that. So yeah, have a little look at that after if you've got one of those emotion aromatherapy books. And then we've also got a new offering of the Copaiba Touch version. So you all probably love Copaiba on its own, the neat oil, but this is now blended with fractionated coconut oil, and it's available in a roller, so it's handy to take out with you to roll on. Good for like your temples, back of your neck, or any sort of painful areas of discomfort. It's really handy to have around. We know how great it is for calming our nervous system and our pain responses. So Copaiba Touch version available. And we've also got Osmanthus, which I'll talk about later. This is like a limited time thing, so it's while stocks last. So if you really love Osmanthus, then grab it while you can. This is not going to be in stock permanently. Just every now and again they'll get a batch of it. But Osmanthus, particularly in sort of Asian supermarkets, I know when we went to London, we got Osmanthus, the dried Osmanthus flowers, and made a tea out of it, and the aroma was amazing. So you can imagine the fragrance of Osmanthus. It's in a lot of the blends as well, but having it on its own is really nice if you do like to make your own fragrances and things like that, and good for the skin. We've also got that lovely little cute koala there at the bottom. It's so cute. I don't know if anyone's got that yet. Let me know if you have, but it's actually it actually makes sounds as well as diffuse. So it makes like, it's got like bush sounds, it's got relaxing like bird noises and just like nature sounds as well. So help the kids get to sleep. But to be honest, I've heard a lot of, it's not for kids, a lot of adults have been buying it for themselves. So yeah, so a really nice one to treat the kids if you feel like you want to. And it comes with the On Guard 15ml oil as well. So that is very limited. I don't know how much stock's left, but it's one of them that it's just whipped off the shelf. So if you want to get it as soon as. And we've got a coconut oil, a fractionated coconut oil, a small version. The deal, I'll just show you the size if anyone's interested. That's the 30ml fractionated coconut oil compared with the normal size. So it's just a handy one if you're traveling. You know, if you're going on a plane, obviously you can take up to 100ml bottles. So that is a handy one to have, or in your handbag or anything like that. So handy travel size. I think it's about £4, and that's limited stock. Once you've got it, then you can keep refilling it. So it's quite a handy bottle to have around. And then we've got the On Guard hand wipes as well. So handy for when you're traveling. We know how great it is for sort of antibacterial, you know, like the hand mist. So good to have around in the car and traveling. I wanted to ask either Lisa or Lisa if you wouldn't mind unmuting and talking about the doTERRA, the new diffuser, the bubble one, because I know you've got it, both of you, so feel free to unmute.
I don't mind.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I love it. Look at it. It's honestly, I've had this in my bathroom today and everyone's come out. I'm gonna go and buy one. Yeah, so it's literally like almost like a bar of soap size. I've put a little 5ml wild orange on there. It just went off as I picked it up, but basically it gives 3 little puffs. on a motion sensor, so it won't go off now because it's gone off, and then every 3 minutes it will go off again if you go in front of it. So I thought, cool, 3 minutes actually. I thought it would be going off all the time, but it's amazing how quickly you can go to the toilet. So it doesn't go off loads and loads and loads. I have said to my husband though, because our bathroom is quite small, I said if we're in the shower or the bath, to turn it round so it's not going off constantly every 3 minutes. But I absolutely love it, and you just put the bottle in there, no water. It's just a really cool little thing. You charge it up, 4 hours to fully charge, and then 2 days I think it will last on a charge. I just want to see, let me see if it will go off. I don't know if it's been 3 minutes. No, might need to leave it a bit longer. Is yours ready to go off, Lisa?
It's downstairs by my front door.
It's that I like that idea that you could have it somewhere, and when people come in, they get that lovely
It's brilliant.
smell.
I absolutely love it.
It is, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah,
I definitely want one for the bathroom and one for the back door as well.
Yeah, I'd like another one.
Because they usually, like some of these toilets have these motion censored air fresheners. Obviously it's toxic stuff, but it's great to have something, and you could pick what you wanted. And some people had a great idea of using an empty bottle and filling it with the blends they wanted and then putting it in. It just screws in, doesn't it? That's a nice idea.
Yes, Michelle, you do put just a bottle of pure oil in there. Yeah, you don't need any water or anything. Right, I'm gonna.
Can't see that, yeah.
Oh, come on, 3 minutes is ages.
I'll just continue, and if it puffs, that's great.
Yeah. Come.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just going to talk a little bit about vanilla. Oh, sorry, Asmanthus first of all, just quickly. We know that it's used in a lot in the perfume industry. It's the absolute extracted from the flower, delicately distilled there. So it's lovely. It's a lovely one to use to help with hydrating your skin. Use it in fragrance. It's a good base for if you're layering, you need like a high note, middle note, base note with perfumes. It's a good note to have. It lasts a long time. It's the same botanical family as jasmine and lilac, so you can sort of almost sense what sort of scent it's going to have, and it works really well with rose, neroli, jasmine, magnolia and frankincense. So it's just a nice one to have if you do like to build up your collection of magnolia and things like that. Would be a nice one to add on there. And then we're going to just briefly talk about Madagascar vanilla. So this has just come out as permanent on the shelves, so it's available now in your shop. I think it's about £34 for a 5 ml bottle, and it can be used in all 3 ways really. You can add it to your drinks, your baking, you can add it to a bath, moisturizer, diffuse it. So yeah, all 3 ways. And it has been diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and there is a reason, because when it's actually been it's the absolute, it's been distilled, it's quite dark and black and gooey, so it does need to be diluted. So it's not like it's been ripped off or anything like that. But some amazing facts that we learnt about this from the convention was that it's the 2nd most expensive spice in the world, second to saffron. It's pollinated by hand, so it has to be hand pollinated, and the blossoms, it only blossoms for 1 day of the year. Imagine that. So 1 day of the year, that's how precious it is. And it's sourced in Madagascar. But what I found shocking was the vanilla market itself. Just go back there. It says less than 1% of vanilla flavouring comes from real vanilla. As you can imagine, the expense of it, because it's only blossoming once a year. So the artificial vanillin is actually derived from sources such as wood pulp, and a lot of it's synthesized from petrochemicals. So it was like quite a bit of a shock to me. It's like, what am I putting in my cakes? What, the vanilla extract, or the essence as they call it. So it's good to know that we're getting the real stuff, and imagine how amazing that's going to smell. I did get a chance to smell it down in Cornwall, and it just knocked me away, actually blew me away. It's not the vanilla that I'm used to smelling, that synthetic version. So So there's some ways that you can use it. Add it to your diffuser. It'd be great in perfumes. I know a lot of the perfume blends have a vanilla base. Add it to bath salts. Imagine how amazing that bath would be. People add it to their coffee drinks, and use it in your baking as well. So a really good all-rounder to have. Okay, yeah, just a few facts there. Yeah, it's the second most expensive. I was expecting it to be actually a bit more pricier than that, based on that, but I think it's quite a reasonable price. And then we've got the Deep Blue Stick and Copaiba. And if anyone has got this, feel free to unmute. Oh, Lisa's got it there. So this, we know how great Copaiba is, we know how great Deep Blue is. So imagine putting them together. One great thing that I used this down in Cornwall, someone lent it me because I had a bit of a knee problem, and straight away I felt the reduction. You know the Deep Blue rub, how great it is, but it can be messy on your hands. The Deep Blue Stick is a bit like a roll-on where you can just roll it on. You don't have to touch your hands. You can just literally roll it on the area. So it's really good for pain, for sort of discomfort or anything like that. Lisa Franz, have you tried it yet? Or Lisa Lomas?
I've tried it and bathed in it. I love it. So I use Deep Blue Rub a lot for pain relief. This is just, as you say, it's the mess-free formula. So it literally twists up like a deodorant stick, and then it goes on. Hang on, I don't know if I can. Literally, it doesn't go on blue or anything. It just goes on completely clear, and you don't have to touch it. You don't have to rub anything in. So that in itself is amazing. But then, of course, you've got all the benefits that you've just said in one stick, and the size is really good. It's like handbag size. Really good to take out and about with you.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, so a nice one to have. I think is it about £24?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, £24.
Yeah.
So quite a good one to add to your collection. Yeah, and we know that the Copaiba included does enhance the absorption of the other oils in the Deep Blue. Okay, so we're just going to talk a little bit about sleep. I don't know if anyone struggles with sleep. Raise your hand if you do. Anyone struggles with sleep from time to time? Donna, Carol, Lisa. Okay, Michelle, great. So there's a few things that we can try. Obviously, the sleep hygiene, we all know it. We know it's like trying to wake up at the same time every morning and go to bed even on weekends. That helps us to get our body to know what to expect. And a really important thing is getting enough sunlight during the day. I don't know if anyone spends a lot of time indoors. That's not good because our body, we need the light levels in our brain. So we need enough light in order to be tired at night time. So that's really important, as well as physical activity. We know what it's like if the kids have been stuck in the home, in the house, and they're like manic. You know how much difference it is when they've had a full day outdoors, they have a really restful sleep. It's the same for us. The more we get outdoors, the better for sleep time. And we're all prone to this screen time, aren't we? Night time, we tend to be on our screens a lot, and it's just, if we can try and you know, stop at a certain time and get the bedroom nice in a relaxed mode, maybe get a book or some journaling to do before bedtime, maybe an hour or so before bedtime, that will be really helpful. We know how blue light is not good for us, is it? It sort of keeps us awake, it keeps our brain in awake mode. So if we can try and reduce our screen time just a little bit before bed, maybe leave the phone somewhere else or at the other side of the room on aeroplane mode, something like that would be helpful. And another thing common is having a lot of thoughts before you go to sleep, lots of worries, anxieties. We all have them, don't we? And it's you're worried about it, and you can be tossing and turning all night. So one of the things that we could do maybe a couple of hours before bedtime or an hour before bedtime is just sort of mind dump any thoughts onto a journal, just to get it onto a piece of paper, because it's done then, and you want to, instead of dwelling on it, you want to write it down. And if there's some things that you can't deal with right now, so just getting it down on a journal and you know, just putting it to one side and deal with it the next day, because each day has its own anxieties, doesn't it? So just getting it off your mind and onto a piece of paper may help. And doing some reading that's relaxing rather than stimulating, nothing too scary, things like that. And another thing is creating a nice environment. So making sure your mattress is, you know, decent. Now, you know, sometimes we forget how old our mattress is in. So either updating with a mattress topper to help with things like that. Make sure we've got nice fresh linen. Make sure it's nice and cool. So maybe open the window sort of an hour before so we get fresh air in the room. Set your diffuser maybe half an hour before bedtime, just so it's a relaxing atmosphere with your favourite relaxing oils, which we'll discuss in a minute. And establishing a bedtime ritual. And sometimes insomnia can be just a vicious cycle of tiredness and negativity and worry, can't it? So it's trying to sort of break that cycle and developing a more of a relaxing bedtime routine and looking after yourself and not just putting yourself to bed. So it's a gradual thing. So I'm going to just talk about some of the relaxing oils that we can use. We know that a lot of essential oils have calming benefits. Essential oils like lavender and bergamot, especially, are rich in linalool and linalool acetate. Both have relaxing properties. So these can be diffused in the room aromatically before bed. And you can also take them internally to calm the nervous system. So you could add 2 to 4 drops of lavender or bergamot to a herbal tea. You can make your own herbal tea. You could even use chamomile or use chamomile tea as well. If you're not in the mood for that sort of drink, you could add them to a capsule and take that sort of half an hour before bed. Some essential oils for sleep need to be taken internally for the benefits. So petitgrain, vetiver and Roman chamomile can all be taken internally to help soothe your body and prepare for a restful sleep. So that's the single oils that you can use internally, but we know that the Serenity soft gels have a combination of oils like lavender, and they also have botanical extracts. We've got L-theanine and lemon balm, passion flower and German chamomile. There've been clinical studies on these soft gels with a group of people to see the difference, and they took a placebo and they took Serenity soft gels, and it really did help, not only with getting to sleep, staying asleep, but also waking up feeling refreshed instead of feeling groggy. A lot of people found the difference. So this L-theanine, which is it's an amino acid found in green tea, which is in Serenity soft gels. It can help to improve the efficiency of your sleep, but also falling asleep faster and staying asleep. So sort of deeper sleep and more restful sleep can help with that. And that would obviously make you wake up feeling more refreshed. So some things to try there: vetiver, lavender, bergamot, Serenity soft gels. I was also looking in the book on linalool acetate, and bergamot mint is also a really high in linalool acetate, which is what we're going to be giving away tonight for whoever wins. So that's a lovely one to try. So now I'm going to bring you over to, who wants to do it first, Lisa or Lisa? Lisa Lomas, should we go with you?
We will try. Let's see if my Scottish internet holds out.
Talking about Melissa. Do I need to make you a host?
I don't need to screen share, you're all right. Okay, just kick me out if my internet goes off, because we'll see how we get on. So it's time for the Melissa challenge. I don't know if everyone's seen any of that on the social media, but it's something that a lot of people have got great benefits from. Mine just arrived. I bought mine with my points this month, so I'm quite excited to get started on Monday. And yeah, it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time for immune system, but it's been nice to look at some of the other benefits. I'm just going to give you a few words about the oil, how to do the challenge, and then what we might expect from our 21 days, focusing on this very special oil. So what is Melissa? It's also known as lemon balm. It's produced in Bulgaria on a family-run farm. Definitely well worth looking at the behind the bottle video. It's really, really nice to see who actually produces our Melissa. In Greek, it stands for honeybee, and it's known as a plant to attract bees. So you get a bit of an idea of the scent there. Melissa oil's got some absolutely wonderful properties. It's known to help relax the nervous system, support the immune system, and it's really, really antiviral. A lot of people that suffer with long-term low mood or the non-compliant way depression, they've found Melissa oil to be really, really helpful. So that's one of the reasons that people might do the challenge, but there's so many more. How to do it. So what is the Melissa challenge? Basically, on day one, you're going to introduce the oil to your body. So over a 12-hour period, on the hour, every hour, you're going to apply a drop of Melissa oil to the roof of your mouth or under your tongue. Either way, it doesn't really matter. That's the most intense day. You just really, really getting it into your system. And then from day 2 to 21, so every other day, you're literally just going to put one drop on the roof of your mouth. So yeah, that is it's quite an easy challenge to do. So that's why I wanted to do it in August when everyone's away on holiday and busy with the kids and things like that. Why to do it? What can you expect? Melissa supports our emotional. So this is partly paraphrased from a blog that I read on it. It was really, really interesting. So Melissa supports our emotional ability to feel happiness, joy, and optimism. This in turn is going to help support our energy levels so we can feel more energetic, motivated, and free from dark thoughts. It also helps us to feel more connected to others and less apathetic about life. So imagine the effect that that support's going to have on the rest of our life, because obviously when you feel happier, you feel more energetic, that then snowballs, doesn't it? And then we're going to be able to use more or introduce more other healthy habits that's going to contribute to our overall well-being. So yeah, I've read lots of reviews on other people and how they found the Melissa challenge, but I don't think anybody within our community has done it yet, or if they have, I haven't heard how they've got on. So I'm really excited to get to the end of August and just find out the results for myself and the results for other people. So yeah, any questions on that? Just pop it in the chat.
Lovely. I'm definitely going to try it. Yeah. So would you be able to put out, what the sort of the days are and how we do it?
Yeah, I'll find it in my Canva and I'll
Yeah.
screenshot. Give me a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that'll be good. Ready for Monday, and then I'll try and follow it. Yeah, that'll be great. Oh, Lisa's back in there. Right. She's come back. So we're going to move on to Lisa Franz, who's going to talk. So a lot of people, we asked them what they wanted us to talk about, and one of the big things was skin and hair. So Lisa Franz, over to you.
Thank you. Sorry, I think because I got booted out, you need to make me co-host again. Sorry. Thanks. Oh, it went off. I've been trying to not make it go off. So, right, I just want to show it. So Paul just walked past it, so it went off. I had it all ready to go off, but I'm going to switch it on. Now it will go off 7 times because the first time it goes off, it does that so that you know that it's on. So here we go. That's it. And then it will go off 3 times in 3 minutes. But so it's quite a lot of puff that comes out. Okay, right. Okay, hopefully this is okay. I'm just apologizing. I've had a crazy week, so my slides are nothing like Rachel's, I'm afraid, but I'll do my best. So hopefully you can all see that. Just going to try and get rid of that up there. Okay, so something that was spoken about was how we can use essential oils for hair, so skin and hair. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a hairdresser by trade. So talking about hair is something that I'm quite comfortable with, but I will try not to make it too scientific for you. So basically, everyone's hair is going to be different and unique to each person, because although there is the common growth phase, so there's 4 stages of growth: anagen, catagen, telogen, and exogen. Each person's phase, especially the growing phase, is unique to each person. So the growing phase of hair can be anything from 1 to 2 years right up to possibly 12 years, which is why some people's hair grows really, really long and other people just can't get their hair past their shoulders, for example. Now, it's the blood supply. If you're thinking about hair growth, maybe trying to thicken your hair, or maybe you've noticed that you're losing some hair, as long as there is a blood supply to that hair follicle, there is something that you can do. But the blood is the vital transplant system, because it's the blood circulation and that blood supply that allows that hair to grow. So if you can see in the picture, this is the hair here, and the follicle goes round it. You've got the blood supply here that goes into the bottom of the hair bulb there. So that disconnects when the hair wants to start falling out. It disconnects itself. But as you can see here, this is where a new hair is growing, and it starts growing at the point of where the blood supply is, way before it gets to anywhere near our scalp. So it's all happening underneath. Now, as long as that blood supply is there, we can use essential oils and help our hair to grow thicker and stronger. But if that blood supply has gone, unfortunately, there isn't anything that you can then do. But thinking of the blood and the blood supply, and especially keeping our blood nice and healthy, the oils that we can use, we need to think a bit beyond just applying oils to our scalp, for example. So I was looking into this and using frankincense and the blend DDR Prime that has frankincense in there. Both these oils are ideal for our overall cellular health. So you're keeping your blood healthy, your cells healthy, keeping the blood oxygenated and moving around your body. So therefore the blood supply is going to get to where it needs to go. So that's something that you can do to encourage your hair growth cycle and to strengthen the blood supply to your hair. Now, when it comes to what oils can you use to help your hair grow, you've got lavender, rosemary, cedarwood and peppermint. Now these oils are the ones that stimulate the blood circulation to the scalp. Okay, now obviously there are ways that you can stimulate circulation to your scalp as well. One of the ways is just simply by massaging your head. The skin on our head is no different to the skin on our body, and you know how tight our bodies can get at times. So by massaging enough so that you can feel your scalp moving, that is where you're going to be stimulating your head. So if you do it, it's up to you, you don't have to. It will be a completely different movement and a completely different tension to when you're washing your hair. I'm sure you'd agree, when you wash your hair, you don't feel your skin, like your eyebrows and everything moves as you're doing it. Now that is a wonderful technique to just do every day anyway, to relax, to ease head tension and anything like that. But by doing that, you're actually going to be stimulating the blood supply to your hair. So that's something you can do. And obviously you can then add oils into it. You can put them on your fingertips, things like that. Now, the reason I've put the Lifelong Vitality here, just going to move that, so that's gone. Because the Lifelong Vitality Pack, a lot of healthy hair, healthy skin, healthy nails, it's not just a case of putting an oil on that place. It's actually coming from within and getting the nutrition that our bodies need right from inside to then show on the outside. And the Lifelong Vitality Pack, I think it's the Microplex that's in there, particularly focuses on maintaining healthy hair, healthy skin and healthy nails. Also looking at healthy cell function, so it's going to work along with the frankincense, DDR Prime. It does actually have frankincense in those nutrients. And 70% of our immune system comes from our gut, and our immune system does have an impact on our hair and our skin and things like that. So if we've got a good healthy digestive system, that is going to reflect on how our hair is. I'm sure you'd agree, if you're not feeling too well, your hair never goes right. And it's because our hair and our skin and everything literally is an outward sign of what's going on inside. So I've had a couple of customers whose hair's been thinning quite a lot, one even with alopecia, and the Lifelong Vitality Pack has helped her hair to grow back. So I know that these do work, so they're definitely worth looking into. So these are some oils that you can use within your hair care. So depending what category, I've just covered sort of 4 here. If you do have any particular issues, then obviously you can drop us a message or message Rachel or whatever. But these are the oils that are the top ones for these hair conditions or types. So oily and greasy, you've got petitgrain or basil, growth, lavender and rosemary, loss of hair or fragile hair, cedarwood and clary sage, particularly for the fragile. And then flaky or itchy, dandruff, things like that, you've got the peppermint and the lavender. So the way you could use those is you could simply add 1 or 2 drops of that to your shampoo, so that when you're washing your hair, you're massaging those oils in as you're washing your hair. And there's a couple of little recipes here for you as well. So thinking of hair care, we want to look after our hair, particularly in the summer. Well, the extreme conditions actually in the summer with the scorching heat, we need to protect our hair. And if we're swimming in the sea or going swimming in the pool quite a lot, salt water can really dry out the hair, strip it of its natural oils. And obviously over washing your hair as well isn't necessarily a good thing. It's the scalp that gets greasy, not the hair. So if you do find you have greasy hair, try not to touch your hair too much, because it's by doing that you're pulling the oil from your scalp through to your hair. If you do have, I know as a child I had really greasy hair. My mum washed my hair every day. When I started studying to be a hairdresser, I realised that's the worst thing you could do. So I went through a horrendous phase where I didn't wash my hair for a week, and it was awful. But actually, once I washed it, it then settled right down, and I now only wash my hair 2 or 3 times a week. So you can overstimulate the sebaceous glands by washing your hair too much. But there's a conditioning spray. Sorry, I got a bit off track there. So to protect our hair in the summer and also in the winter, central heating is awful for our hair. It dries it right out. So there's some nice a conditioning spray there, and then you can add whichever oils you want depending on your hair type. So it's mainly water with a little bit of coconut oil, but then you choose your oil combo to suit your hair type. And then you can just wash your hair, towel dry really gently, never rub your hair. It creates static, it creates split ends, it ruffles up the cuticles. So towel dry and just squeeze it dry rather than rub it dry. And then use this spray that in before you then leave it to dry on its own, or you can blow dry it. And then the hair mask, if you want a deep conditioning hair mask. Now, even if you have greasy hair, you can still use this, but just put it on the mid-lengths to ends of your hair. And it's a really lovely thing to do. Just do it once a week, once a month, depending on how often you want to do it. Nice little hair mask recipe there. And then moving on to, excuse me, facial care. I absolutely love using essential oils in my face creams, and so I make my own serum, which I absolutely love. But if you have an unhealthy gut, as I said earlier, it has a really big impact on your skin. So including spots, maybe inflammation, eczema, rosacea, rashes, things like that. So gut health is directly linked to our skin health. Our skin on the outside tells us if something is off on the inside in our stomach. So quite often eczema, psoriasis, acne, they're all telling us that something is off in our stomach, in our digestive system. So digestive enzymes and probiotics and proper nutrition, they all contribute to our overall skin health. So again, this is why, Lifelong Vitality Pack, those nutrients to really help our guts and for our bodies to get the right amount of nutrition that our skin needs. Of course, drinking enough water has an impact on our skin as well, whether it's hydrated or not. It can really cause skin dehydration if you don't drink enough water. But also you've then got things like Terrazyme and PB Assist. Now, Terrazyme is a digestive enzyme. It helps to break down food in our digestive tract. There's so much on Terrazyme, and I think we speak about Terrazyme on a previous customer Zoom. So there's a lot more information. I'm just focusing on the fact that it can help with skin here, but if you want any more information on it, just reach out to whoever your advocate is. But Terrazyme is incredible. If our gut, if our digestion is working the way it should, our skin will reflect that. And then the PB Assist is the probiotics. It comes in 2 forms. You've got the double encapsulated PB Assist, which are amazing. Mine are in the cupboard, but they are double encapsulated so that the bit that we need actually needs to go into our digestive tract, not our stomach. Quite often probiotics, once they get to our stomach, the stomach acid breaks them down, and then the goodness from that probiotic doesn't actually get into our digestive tract. Because these are double encapsulated, it means they get through to the digestive tract before they get broken down, and they can then work how they're designed to work. But if you're not one for tablets, they do a PB Assist Junior, and these are amazing. They taste incredible. And you've got all the goodness. There's like 1 trillion of the probiotics in one of those sachets. They're absolutely fantastic. Tastes like sherbet. So if you've got a sweet tooth, doubles up as a little sweet treat every day as well. You can add it to your yogurt, you can add it on your cereal, you can just have it straight out the sachet. But all these things have an impact on our skin. So it's just good to remember that we can be putting all these lovely oils on our skin and thinking they're not doing anything, but if we're not eating right, and if we're not aiding our digestion, and if we're not getting our probiotics, our skin is not going to look how we want it, because good skin comes from inside. So here's a list for you. Feel free to take a picture if you want to. These are oils that are particularly good for certain skin types. I have very dry skin, very dry but sensitive. These are my favorite oils that I've put on the side there. I actually make a serum up. I think I did put it on the next graphic actually. Frankincense, geranium, helichrysum, copaiba, lavender and Roman chamomile. I put all of those oils together with I use jojoba oil. I use what do I use? Sweet almond oil, avocado oil, all the oils that are particularly good for facial skin. Put my drops in, and then I use my serum twice a day, and it's super nice, and it's nicer than anything that you will buy in the shops. Oh, here we are. Yeah, so here's some little serums that you can make up for yourself if you wanted to. So again, just a few skin types. If your skin type's not on there, just let me know, or let Rachel know, and we'll do what we can. But you only need a few drops of oil per carrier oil, depending on the size of your container. I make up a 30 ml roller, and I roll a bit on my face, so I add the necessary drops appropriate to that amount. But thinking about the carrier oils, you can of course use fractionated coconut oil if you want to, but there are different carrier oils out there that do different things, that are suitable for different skin types. So that's why, like dehydrated skin, I've put jojoba oil. For oily, acne prone skin, grapeseed oil or jojoba oil. Wrinkles or aging skin, avocado oil or jojoba oil. Sensitive skin, sweet almond oil, obviously if you're not allergic to nuts. And apricot oil or jojoba oil. So jojoba is a pretty good oil to have. But any of those essential oils make up beautiful serums. So give it a go and see what you think. I tend to put it on before my moisturizer, so in between toner and before moisturizer, just to give your skin that extra little love. And of course you can make your own foaming face wash. A lot of soaps are so harsh on our skin, and we shouldn't really wash our face with soap. That's why face wash has a category of its own in supermarkets and things. But obviously we don't necessarily know what's in them. So making your own foaming face wash is quite simple. You can then add whichever oils you need for your skin type. And obviously it will last a lot longer than anything that you would buy. And just on with skin, this is just a couple of things where if we do have any reactions, there are things that we can go to naturally. So this is me. So I had a reaction actually to a cleaning product where I've gone very low toxic. I was using a cream cleaner that wasn't low toxic, and that's the reaction I had on the left. I just came up in this rash. I couldn't believe it. It was really hot. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, what's happened? So I just naturally went for lemon, lavender, peppermint, the sort of natural antihistamine blend. And that was an hour later. The picture at the bottom, how much it had calmed down and the redness had gone. So you've got those oils if ever anyone has an allergic reaction to anything of the skin or any kind of irritation. doTERRA do actually do Tri-Ease, and I have bought those because I just thought they're really handy to have if you just need to take something quick rather than find your 3 oils and your veggie caps or whatever. And then even with bruising on the right, so I sprained my bicep tendon. I didn't take pictures soon enough actually, but my arm was blacker than that. But that was 4 days from the first picture to the last one of just applying cypress, frankincense and lavender to encourage the lymphatic drainage for the swelling and everything. And then I used some recipes that I've got from little booklets from Essential Oil Supplies for inflammation and soft tissue pain. But it just shows the power of the oils. We're talking an hour here with the reaction and with the bruising. I mean, that bruising literally went to my armpit down to the back of my hand, my entire arm. And that was 4 days that it got to that level. So it's just, I think I've got a newfound respect for my skin. We forget it's an organ. We think about our internal organs and how we want to look after them and feed them well, but we forget that our skin is the biggest organ of our body and the most incredible because it protects everything else. So just remembering that and feeding it well and treating it well and using the oils to support our skin and thinking about it from within as well is just a nice reminder that, you know, to do it and that there are ways to do it. So that is what I have for you. So back over to Rachel. How do I stop sharing? Ah, there we go. There we go.
That was so interesting. Thank you, Lisa. Going to be making a lot of stuff from that. That was so interesting. Yeah. So Lisa's just going to finish this spinny wheel, aren't you, Lisa, for the prize? But while we're waiting for that, just give us a shout when you're ready. Has anyone got any questions about anything, their LRP, or a condition that they're struggling with? Just put your hand up.